Alright, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Real Madrid Hub again. I'm your host, Dr. Jota. How are you all, guys? I have very good news for you all, just because today we will be talking about a little bit more regarding to Kylian Mbappe. And I know guys, that this is the thing that you like the most, and especially when there are some different news. And today it is the day we have some different news regarding to Kylian Mbappe. It is coming out from Josep Pedrerol and El Chiringuito, and of course it is coming out from a former teammate of Kylian Mbappe in Paris Saint-Germain, who also played in Real Madrid. But let me keep the surprise for the end of the video, because it is to me very important. It is as well very exciting, and I wanted to share with you all, but right at the end of the video. Before to get started, before to give you some updates on the team, on the squad, on the players and all the stuff, let me remind you, we have the new online store where you guys can buy every single jersey of Real Madrid. As you know, it's jotamadrid.com. Right down here below you have the link to the store, and you also have the 50% off if you buy and you introduce my code JOTA in every single of your purchases. So if you guys go ahead and want to buy a Real Madrid jersey, just go there, jotamadrid.com, and find whatever you guys want, and don't forget the code JOTA, of course, because you will get a 50% off in every single purchase. Okay, with that said, let me get into the most important today, and I'm going to start with a couple of updates on the players that played last night with Brazil. I'm talking about Casemiro, Vinicius Jr., and also Militao. The good news is Casemiro, so he was booked with a yellow card, so he won't play the next game of Brazil against Argentina, which means that he will come back earlier than expected to Madrid. So that is very good news, because he doesn't have to play more, so that way he can save energy, he can save, he doesn't have to keep playing over and over again, and piling up all these minutes in his shoulders, so he can come back to Madrid earlier than expected and recover and get some rest and be available for Carlo Ancelotti for the next game against Granada. That is as far as Casemiro. Now let me tell you something about Militao, because he didn't play last night, which is of course very good as well for Real Madrid, because as long as these players they don't play a single minute with their national teams, it's always good for Real Madrid, because Militao, so does Casemiro, he always play in Real Madrid, he's always important for Carlo Ancelotti. So the more rest, the more time with no playing for him, the better for Los Madridistas. So he didn't play against Colombia. And now I will be talking about the third one, Vinicius Jr., because as you know, he came on the pitch and he did a great job with Brazil. And he actually, I didn't watch the game, don't get me wrong, I didn't watch the game, I didn't have the chance to watch the match against Brazil and Colombia, but what the people are saying is that Vinicius Jr., he revolutionized the whole game, and that helped to Brazil to win the game. So he did a great job, and once again he's showing off everybody. He's ready not only for Real Madrid but also for the national team of Brazil. As you know, the other day Tite said we have to keep calm with Vinicius Jr., because it is not the same way Real Madrid is playing as Brazil is playing, and that can affect to Vinicius Jr., because the position and the way he moves in Real Madrid is a little bit different and changed a little bit respectively to Brazil. So maybe he needs more time to adapt and adjust himself to the national team of Brazil rather than Real Madrid, because in Real Madrid he only plays in the left wing, so that means he only has to just one single move, or he's all the time playing in the same position, so he knows pretty much everything about that position, how he has to move, how he has to step forward, how he has to step back and all the stuff. But in Brazil it's a little bit different, because they play with the 4-4-2, and he has like 4 midfielders in his back, so he has to be moving all the time, all around, back and forth in the different positions, the different spots of the attack, and it's a little bit different. So that's why Tite doesn't want him to be in the lineup right now. He wants to save him and prepare him for the future. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, it was a very good game. It was a very good job by Vinicius Jr. And the good news, he only played 45 minutes, which is good as well. So now let me move on and let's talk a little bit about Eden Hazard, because yesterday his brother Torgan Hazard, who plays in Borussia Dortmund, I mean, he didn't even deny the rumors and speculations that are pointing to the Belgian player out of Real Madrid. I mean, he said this is a question you have to ask to Florentino Perez and Real Madrid. That is what he said. I mean, he also said something really, I mean, not harmful, but in a certain way offensive to Real Madrid, because he said, okay, with so few minutes, it is very difficult for you to show how great player you are. But let me tell you what, I mean, this player has had in the past with Zidane all the opportunities to show everybody that he's still a good player, but he didn't take advantage from him, you know? So there's no point in criticizing or blasting Carlo Ancelotti just because he's not trusting anymore in Eden Hazard. There's no point, because he already had the opportunities he's not having right now. And the only reason why he's not having any opportunity, it is because Vinicius Jr. is in a much better shape than him right now. So I understand, I get it, because he's his brother and he will protect his brother obviously ever. But the thing is, if you think about that, if you think about from the Carlo Ancelotti's mind, that would be completely unfair to line up Eden Hazard ahead of Vinicius Jr. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we have to accept that, and it's his brother, and it is pretty normal to hear something like that. But the explanation for this whole thing, it is pretty much because the player is not professional enough, is not taking advantage from these opportunities that he has had. And of course, right now, his moment passed by time ago, you know what I'm saying? And right now is the Vinicius moment. So the most likely to happen is for him to leave Real Madrid next January, or at most next summer. And I agree with that, I understand that, and I will understand and agree with the move of Florentino Perez to get rid of the player, because it's a very heavy salary for a player who is not providing with anything to Real Madrid, you know what I'm saying? So I think this thing should be over for now. We should understand what is going on here and understand if he leaves Real Madrid, that will be good for Real Madrid and good for him as well. So now let me move on and finish with the most important news that I have for you all guys, because it's regarding to Kylian Mbappe. Number one, it is coming out from Josep Pedrerol, but it's not something that he said. It is something, because that is what I shared with you all yesterday when he said that Kylian Mbappe will sign for Real Madrid for sure next month of January. But of course, after this statement, what I understand is Josep Pedrerol once again will become the most reliable source in the signing of Kylian Mbappe. So as of January, as of next month of January, guys, stay tuned to every single thing Josep Pedrerol says, because he will tell you when is he going to sign for Real Madrid, or if something happens with Kylian Mbappe, he will let you know, and we will have to trust that information because it is coming out from Josep Pedrerol, who has a very straight, direct line to the president of Real Madrid, Florentino Perez. The relationship between both of them is very good, and every single thing coming out from Josep Pedrerol, you have to trust it, because it is like if that was coming out from Florentino Perez. You know what I'm saying? So he will be that. So stay tuned to every single thing he says. I mean, I know that you guys trust a lot in Fabrizio Romano, like me, but the thing is, when it comes to Real Madrid, the most reliable source is, believe me, Josep Pedrerol. Any other journalist has better information than Josep Pedrerol when it comes to Florentino Perez or Mbappe or whatever it is. And the second thing I have for you all guys is even better, because it's about a former teammate of Kylian Mbappe in Paris Saint-Germain and former Real Madrid player. Is Jesse Rodriguez, who has recognized today that one day Mbappe told him that one day, I mean, quote here, one day I will play for Real Madrid. That is what he said, that is what he told to Jesse Rodriguez, and this is what Jesse Rodriguez is telling in this interview where he recognizes that the player will play for Real Madrid. And of course, if you know the Florentino Perez, how he manages everything, I mean, for sure, 100%, he will be able to sign Kylian Mbappe for the next season, which is good for Los Madridistas because, as you know, this is not just about Kylian Mbappe. The most important here is that we have a president who is able to achieve whatever he wants to achieve. I mean, in this case, if that is about Kylian Mbappe, he will get him for sure. So what Jesse Rodriguez, in my opinion, is trying to highlight is to say Florentino Perez will be able to sign Mbappe no matter how much opposition he finds in the way, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how Al-Khelaifis and state clubs and stuff that are on the way, because he will go through it and he will get it. And that is very important for us. That is very important for Los Madridistas, and that is very important for the future of Real Madrid. And once that we know that Jesse Rodriguez was told by Kylian Mbappe that he was going to play someday in Real Madrid, whether 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, there's no option for any other club in the world, neither Liverpool or any other, to sign Kylian Mbappe just because the player is recognizing the only choice for him is Real Madrid. If he gets out of Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid will be the only chance, the only option, the only club where he wants to play in. You know what I'm saying? So I am 100%, 200% so happy with this news, and I hope you guys feel the same way than me. And yeah, it's the countdown, man. It's only 50 days to see the possible signing of Kylian Mbappe for Real Madrid. So now, guys, just do me a favor, just thumbs up if you